Hello and welcome you all again in this lecture of Specialized Auditing Paper 6. In the earlier lecture, we have discussed the introduction, meaning and definition of audit of cooperative societies. After that, we have studied the features of audit of cooperative societies. Then we have seen the contents of audit report of cooperative societies. Now, in this lecture, we will study audit of different cooperative societies. In that, we will study meaning, definitions, characteristics of audit of cooperative consumer stores. Then, we will study meaning and procedure of audit of cooperative consumer store. Then lastly, we will study meaning and procedure of audit of salary earners cooperative society. So first we try to understand meaning of audit of cooperative consumer stores. Friends, consumer cooperative stores is a type of retail store established to eliminate the importance of middlemen. These stores are established by those persons who are dissatisfied with the middlemen's profit and high prices of goods. These stores are formed by consumers who join together and manage the business. The consumers contributes capital for the purchase of goods directly from the procedure in large quantities and sell them to its members or outsiders of a reasonable profit. The profit of the store is retained among the members in proportion to their capital. Now, let's see the definitions of audit of cooperative consumer stores. Friends, MC Shukla said that a consumer cooperative store in an economic enterprise set by the consumers for the distribution of fundamental consumption goods primarily among the shareholders to the subscribers consumer who are called members of such organization and who have an equal voice in the control of the organization. Now let us see the characteristics of audit of consumer stores. In that, first characteristic is it is a voluntary association of adult persons registered under the Cooperative Societies Act. Second characteristic is the capital is divided into shares of small value and these shares are subscribed by its member. Third characteristic is the liability of the member is limited to the extent of face value of the shares subscribed by its members. Next characteristic is it is controlled in the democratic setup. Fifth is the accounts of the society are subject to audit by the registrar of cooperative societies. And last is one member has one vote irrespective of his holding. Now let's move to the next point, that is procedure of audit of consumer stores. In that, first procedure is preliminary work. Again, in that first point is ascertainment of legal status. The auditor should ascertain the legal status of the consumer store, that is whether it is society, a trust, a non-profit company or a limited company. Accordingly, he should note the provisions of the statute applicable to the club which are likely to affect the work of the auditor. Next is examination of rules by laws. He should examine the rules or bylaws or trust deed or memorandum and articles of association to note the important provisions affecting accounts and audit. Third is examination of minute books. He should examine the minute books of the meeting of board of trustee or governing body or management committee or board of directors to note the important decision affecting the accounts. Next is obtaining of list. He should obtain a list of books of account along with the persons maintaining them. He should also obtain a list of persons who are authorized to sanction or execute financial transaction. Next is examination of previous audit reports. He should examine the audit reports of the last few years and note the important observations and qualification. And last is study and evaluation of control system. He should study and evaluate control system with regards to the stock in consumer store. The next procedure is audit of income. In that, first point is vouching of entrance fees. He should vouch the entrance fees with the applications received from members, counterfoils of receipts issued to them, and the minutes of the managing committees approving the membership. Next is vouching of subscriptions. Subscriptions from members should be vouched with the counterfoils of the receipts issued to them and the registrar of members. He should test check the receipts for a selected period with the entries passed in the register of members and reconcile the subscriptions actually received with the total amount receivable, carefully nothing the subscription in arrears or received in advance. Next is examination of arrears of subscription. He should see that arrears of subscription pertaining to the previous years are duly brought forward and those in arrears as to the current year and received in advance are appropriately adjusted and shown in the annual financial statements. Next is examination about internal check. He should see whether there is an adequate internal check as regard changing or charging the members for the items in consumer stores. Next is verification of necessary steps. A peculiar feature regarding the writing off of the bad debts as per Maharashtra State Corporation Rules 1961 is very interesting to note. As per rule number 49, bad debts can be written off only when they are certified as bad by the auditor. Bad debts and irrecoverable losses before being written off against bad debts funds, reserve funds, etc. should be certified as bad debt or irrecoverable losses by the auditor where the law so requires. Next is checking of charges. He should check whether the members are properly charged for the goods and services provided to them. And last is test checking of entries. He should test check entries in the account books relating to supply of goods and services for a selected period and satisfy himself that accounts of the members concerned have been duly debited. Then next procedure is audit of expenditure. In that, first point is examination of procedure. He should examine the procedure relating to purchases, custody and issue of food stuffs, sports goods, crockery and other items in consumer store and see that all purchases and issues are properly authorized and recorded in the respective stock registers. For this, he should test check vouchers for a selected period. He should also see that the sale price of the goods is so fixed that there is a reasonable margin of profit to the clubs. Next is examination of record regarding purchase. Auditor should see that records as to the received, consumption and unsold stock are properly maintained. Third is vouching of stock register. The stock register should be maintained in such a manner that an up-to-date amount of receipt, issues and balances of stock at any time is capable of being disclosed. In cooperative consumer stores, a register of excesses and shortages should be maintained, and a standard percentage of shortages beyond, say, one bag of 100 kg of grain should be predetermined by means of practical experience. This may be useful to ascertain whether actual shortages is normal or abnormal. In case of cooperative consumer stores and manufacturing society, this is absolutely essential. Next is examination of cash book. The cash book may be divided in suitable columns so as to indicate specific main heads of expenses and receipt, and a proper distinction between capital and revenue is brought out. Next is verification of salaries and increments. Salaries and yearly increments to staff should be verified by the reference to service contract, salary register and minutes of the meetings of the managing committee. Next is checking of stock of products in stores. He should, as far as practicable, physically check the stock of goods with the respective stock registers or inventory sheets prepared at the end of the year. Next is checking of expenditure on redecoration. He should see that any heavy expenditure on redecoration of the premises is treated as a deferred revenue expenditure and written off over a specified time. And last is ascertainment of rates of depreciation. He should ascertain the rates of depreciation being applied to furniture, fixtures, fittings, etc. and satisfy himself that is adequate. Alternatively, he should ascertain if an adequate provision has been made in respect of their renewal. And last, fourth procedure is audit of assets and liabilities. In that, first point is examination of disclosure of assets and liabilities. He should examine whether assets and liabilities are properly disclosed and valued. Second is verification of assets and other. He should verify assets such as inventory of provisions, stock of sports material, furnitures, etc. by adopting suitable audit procedure. Next is verification of inventory record. Perpetual inventory records based on proper costing methods should be maintained by cooperative manufacturing concern like sugar and cloth mills. These records must be maintained in such a manner so as to have an up-to-date control over movement of materials and avoid wastage and losses in production. Now let's understand the meaning of audit of salary earners cooperative society. Friends, such societies are meant for employees of government establishment, employees of the semi-government bodies, banks, corporations like the life insurance corporations, state transport corporations, state trading corporations, universities, colleges, schools, factories, mills, industrial establishment, etc. Now let's see the procedures of audit of salary earners cooperative society. The first point is registration. In accordance with cooperative principles, a society has its own objectives such as promotion of economic interest, a general welfare of its members. A society established with an objective of facilitating the operations of any such society may be registered under the MSC Act, the ECCS society has, that means salary earner cooperative societies, has consisted of at least 10 persons who are qualified to be members under the act. For the registration, an application has to be made to the registrar in Form A in Marathi, Hindi or English, that is signed by the applicants along with an application. 4 copies of the proposed bylaws of the society should be enclosed. The members has to be an employee of respective organization. Second procedure is norms of membership. The membership criteria given in the bylaws of salary earner cooperative societies and conditions of admission to membership under the rule 19 of MCS rules 1961. Some of the following points are the conditions for a memberships. First is an individual completing the age of 18 and mentally sound and as well as competent to contract under the Contract Act 1872. Second condition is a person should be a permanent employee of the respective employer. Third is a person should fulfill the eligibility norms laid down in the bylaws. Then third procedure is restriction on shareholding. In the salary earner cooperative society, a member can hold shares not exceeding 20% of the paid up share capital of rupees 50,000, whichever is less. This provision helps in curbing capitalistic tendency by any member. Then next is restriction on borrowings. The society cannot borrow to any extent but up to a certain limit which is related to the owned fund. The society shall receive the deposit from the members and disburse the loans to members only to such extent and such conditions may be prescribed by the bylaws of the society. Next procedure is appropriation of profit. Every society can derive a profit from its transaction. However, it has to maintain the reserve fund. Every society shall carry at least 25% of the net profits each year to the reserve fund. However, having regard to the financial position of the society, the registrar may reduce the percentage of transfer, but in any case not less than 10%. Generally, in case of newly started salary earners credit societies, this liberal views is taken. Then next procedure is restriction on declaration of dividend. The society shall pay a dividend at the rate exceeding 15% except to the prior sanction of the registrar of society. Those societies in the profit can only declare dividend. The Government of Maharashtra Cooperative Department circular has given the right to the financially sound societies that they will declare dividend more than 25% prior sanction of the registrar. Next is investment of funds. A society shall invest or deposit its funds in one or more. Some points are given. First is in a central district bank or state cooperative bank. Second is in any security specified in section 20 of the Indian Trust Act 1882. Next is in the share of or security bonds or debenture issued by any other societies with the limited liabilities with prior permission of registrar. And last is any other mode approved by the registrar of cooperative societies time to time. And next is final authority. The final authority of every society shall vest in the general body of the member in the general meeting. The delegates shall attend the general meeting as per the bylaws of the society and to exercise all their power in the general meeting. As a member, every society shall complete the books of account within a period of 3 months after the completion of the financial year. Next is the raising of funds by society. Every society that has a share capital shall provide, as stated in the bylaws, the maximum amount of such share capital, the number of shares into which it is divided, the class of shares, the face value of each share of each class, and the rights and liabilities attached to each class of shares. And last is accounts and books to be kept. Every society shall keep required books of accounts under the sub rule 1. The committee of the every society shall prepare the annual statement of accounts, like receipt and payments during the previous cooperative year, then the profit and loss account for the year end, and the balance sheet as at the close of the year. Now here we are going to stop. Thank you.